A razor-thin steel blade cannot pass between these massive 100-ton stones. They lock together in perfect harmony, yet no modern machinery touched them. Across our planet, ancient structures stand as silent monuments to lost genius. They challenge everything we think we know about human progress and technological evolution. History tells us a linear story, a steady march from primitive tools to our advanced automated world today. But the stones whisper a different reality, one of forgotten peaks and dark valleys. We begin our descent into the past, at the fortress of Sacsayhuaman in Peru. Here, the Inca civilization crafted walls, using megaliths that defy conventional physics. Some blocks exceed 100 metric tons, quarried and moved across rugged alpine terrain. Without iron tools or wheeled transport, they shaped irregular, multi-angled stone surfaces. Each block fits its neighbor so precisely that seismic waves cannot tear them apart. This was brilliant structural and seismic engineering. When major earthquakes strike the Andes, these interlocking joints absorb the shockwaves. The stones shift and settle safely, while modern concrete structures collapse completely. The sheer scale of human organization required strains our modern understanding of ancient logistics. Further east, across the Mediterranean Sea, lies the ancient site of Baalbek. In modern Lebanon, a monumental platform stretches beneath younger Roman temple ruins. This foundation contains the legendary trilithon, 3 stones weighing 800 tons each. Nearby, the stone of the pregnant woman remains unfinished in its limestone quarry, surpassing an astonishing 1,000 tons. Moving such weight across uneven ground presents catastrophic structural and physical risks. A single error in balancing momentum would crush a massive labor force instantly. Historians propose complex systems of rollers, wooden sledges, and thousands of workers. But the friction mechanics involved suggest a far more sophisticated understanding of physics. Furthermore, this colossal stone platform appears centuries older than the Roman structures above. This indicates a pattern of historic recycling, where empires built upon older, forgotten foundations. While heavy lifting remains a physical challenge, intellectual computation left an even stranger artifact. In 1901, sponge divers explored a shipwreck near the Greek island of Antikythera, recovering a corroded lump. Decades of advanced X-ray imaging revealed a shocking, highly sophisticated mechanical computer. Known as the Antikythera mechanism, it contains dozens of microscopic bronze gears. Dating back over 2,000 years, this device tracked complex astronomical movements. It accurately predicted solar and lunar eclipses, modeling the irregular orbit of the moon. The mathematical gear ratios mirror principles found in 14th century European clocks. Yet this machine predates that technology by more than 1,000 years. It represents a lost mechanical tradition, an era of specialized scientific engineering that vanished when the empire collapsed. This serves as a chilling warning that advanced technology can completely disappear when societal networks fracture and dissolve. This pattern of high precision continues at the Great Pyramid of Giza. Constructed over 4,500 years ago, it incorporates over 2 million stone blocks. Beyond its sheer physical magnitude, the monument exhibits near-perfect geographic orientation. Its base aligns to true cardinal directions, with an error margin under 1 degree. Achieving this required advanced astronomical observations and rigorous long-term landscape planning. While local limestone forms the core, massive granite blocks traveled from Aswan, located over 800 kilometers away. Transporting these blocks along the Nile demanded extraordinary coordination of seasonal labor. Engineers likely poured water on sand to cut friction resistance in half. Yet, the internal chambers and passages reveal an even deeper mathematical blueprint. The stress distribution chambers above the king room protect it from structural collapse. This proves the builders prioritized internal physics over mere external aesthetic appearance. High in the Bolivian Andes, another enigma rests at Puma Punku. This ancient site features scattered blocks of exceptionally hard granite and andesite. The cuts are perfectly straight, featuring uniform holes and crisp geometric right angles. The precision looks almost highly industrialized, suggesting standardized production and prefabrication methods. The Tiwanaku culture left no written records detailing their specific stone-cutting tools. Mainstream theories point to basic bronze, chisels, and coarse river sand abrasives. However, cutting hard volcanic andesite requires materials of immense hardness or sustained velocity. Furthermore, the blocks display a modular layout designed to interconnect like puzzle pieces. This indicates meticulous architectural planning before a single stone was ever quarried. Environmental shifts and later human conflicts shattered this magnificent prehistoric complex, leaving only fragments of an advanced architectural philosophy. While some cultures engineered stone, others engineered the invisible power of thermodynamics. In ancient Alexandria, a brilliant inventor named Hero designed radical automated machines. His texts describe automated temple doors, coin-operated holy water vending machines, and elaborate automated theatrical puppet shows. Most notably, he constructed the Aeolipile, a hollow sphere rotated by escaping steam. This was the world's first operational concept of a steam engine. Yet, this breakthrough never sparked an industrial revolution in the ancient Mediterranean. Instead, these mechanisms served as theatrical wonders or tools for religious spectacle. When hidden altar fires expanded trapped air, pneumatic pressure pulled hidden heavy pulleys, causing massive temple doors to open automatically. Because these devices were built from perishable materials like bronze and wood, virtually no physical components survived history. This reveals a harsh economic truth. Technology only thrives when society requires its practical and industrial application. The supreme archive of this knowledge was the Great Library of Alexandria. For centuries, it served as the intellectual capital of the ancient world. It housed hundreds of thousands of scrolls from Greece, Egypt, and Persia. Scholars there actively translated, cataloged, and compared diverse mathematical and medical traditions. Legend states that every arriving ship surrendered its books to be copied. This created a massive centralized database, long before modern global universities existed. However, political volatility, shifting regional rulers, and devastating fires eroded this institution. By the early medieval period, the entire collection had completely vanished into history. The tragedy was not merely the loss of fragile papyrus sheets, but the erasure of advanced technical empirical data. Later scholars could only reference lost treatises on mechanics, optics, and astronomy, leaving massive gaps in our scientific lineage. While Western empires stored data in libraries, Polynesian navigators stored it in memory. They achieved the most daring maritime exploration in early human history, settling islands across the vast Pacific Ocean. Without magnetic compasses or sextants, they crossed thousands of kilometers of open water. They navigated using a complex web of subtle natural environmental indicators. Navigators mapped the night sky mentally, using an internal star compass that divided the horizon into precise directional zones. They read the rhythm of ocean swells, detecting how distant islands disrupted wave patterns. They tracked changing wind directions, unique cloud formations, and seasonal bird migration routes. This systemic spatial data allowed them to locate tiny islands before sighting them. This profound cognitive system was transmitted exclusively through rigid oral apprenticeships. Because nothing was ever written down, the full depth of their training faced severe threats of permanent erasure. When a master navigator succumbed to the perils, an entire library of oceanic data dissolved forever. In terms of material science, few can match the longevity of Roman concrete. Their architectural infrastructure, including massive aqueducts, deep water harbors, and the Pantheon, still stands intact after 2 millennia. Modern industrial concrete often degrades within decades due to internal chemical corrosion. In stark contrast, ancient Roman concrete grows stronger over centuries of environmental exposure. Their chemical formulation combines slaked lime, fine volcanic ash, and coarse aggregate materials. When exposed to salt water in marine environments, a rare chemical crystallization process occurs. The seawater interacts with the volcanic ash, forming stable minerals like aluminous tobermorite. These crystal structures weave through the concrete, actively preventing cracks from propagating. Roman engineers did not follow a single rigid standardized chemical recipe. Instead, they dynamically adapted their mixtures to the unique local geology of each region. When the Western Roman Empire collapsed, this advanced material science knowledge faded, forcing builders to rely on less durable materials. When we view these global mysteries, from Egypt to the high Andes, we see striking cross-cultural engineering parallels. Massive stones, astronomical alignments, and incredible long-term structural stability appear globally. Some researchers hypothesize ancient global contact or shared trade networks across oceans. However, experimental archaeology presents an alternative view: independent development driven by material limitations. When human societies face identical physical challenges, they often discover identical optimization solutions. Because ancient engineering was highly practical, knowledge lived within master-apprentice guilds rather than written theoretical documentation. This lack of written blueprints means our modern understanding remains fragmented. We look at the surviving stones, trying to reverse engineer ancient minds. They remind us that human progress is not a straight upward line, but a cyclical journey of brilliant illumination, followed by periods of profound darkness. What we build today may eventually become the unexplainable mysteries of tomorrow.